So the important news I'll get out in the beginning, commissioners and community, we're at no tax increase for the 6th straight year. The commissioners to my left have put the township in a fantastic position financially and strategically over the years, and I'm going to outline how we got here. So we'll just go through the process, some of the accomplishments in 19, and we'll look forward to 20. Organizational chart, and I'm going to speak a little quickly before I get the hook here this evening. The ultimate stakeholders and the ultimate decision makers in local government are the taxpayers and the residents of Hatfield, and that's why they're on the top of this organizational chart. Everything flows from there, so our ultimate job is to serve this community. Some of the appointed boards, just to get a sense on the magnitude of the organization. We have a Sewer Authority, Civil Service Commission, Parks and Rec Board, Planning Commission, Zoning Hearing Board, Pool Advisory Board, Shade Tree Commission, the EAC, the IDA, North Penn Health Hospital Education Authority, North Penn Water Authority, one representative, and a vacancy board. All of these volunteer boards are appointed by the commissioners. All of them do put a lot of work into this community as volunteers, and we appreciate all their efforts. When you look in our budget, and please ignore the male model on the screen, when you look at our budget, for both 20 and 19 and years past, it's abundantly clear what the commissioners' priorities are. It's to keep this community safe. 60% of the budget goes toward keeping the community safe with fire and police protection. The other portion goes to infrastructure improvement, paving, maintaining roads, fixing stormwater management problems, parks and recreation, and open space. So those are the three major core fundamentals of local government. Some of the accomplishments in 19. The commissioners have made a point over the years to build better relationships with our businesses. So before some of these meetings, we go and tour some more facilities. This picture is with Dorman Products, located on Walnut, which is our second largest employer. And we've been doing this now for a number of years, and we've got to know our business community. We understand what some of their needs are and what they would like to see local governments do better and what we do well. So it's been a beneficial experience for us. Some of the public safety accomplishments of 19. Hatfield Police, led by the best chief you'll find, over 30,000 incidents. Continued our partnership with the borough. This year we rolled out a new initiative with the residents in the Ring program to create a safer neighborhood environment. This year we saw Officer Steve Cameron, retire. We promoted Lieutenant Jay Ciarlello to lieutenant. Promoted Rich Hoffner to detective sergeant. Promoted Corporal Peck and Corporal Scanlon to their current corporal positions. Hired Officers Woodward and Plasinski as patrol officers in 19. Some of the community relationships with I think our department does as well as any out there. This is a Coffee with a Cop program at Giant. This is at Univest. This is all just this year. This is a movie night in a neighboring community in the summer where they had a Christmas theme. There's a Blue Wave Car Wash, ShopRite, our Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, fundraisers, which we've talked about in here. The police raise money for a lot of initiatives throughout the year. This one specifically was for breast cancer. Halloween events, officers reading to children at the North Penn Y. We had our Chapman Scholarships this year that we all get to participate in every July. Crayola with a Cop with children. We had a upgrade to our employee gym and facility for wellness initiative, thankfully funded completely by donations. Not one taxpayer dollar was spent. We have a partnership with the NAACP, thanks to the leadership of Chief Tierney, to not only work with all different communities as far as police work, but we're also partnering with the NAACP to provide diversity training to some of our staff in the Aquatic Center for 2020, and just to get some more best practices on how to work with this very diverse and special Hatfield community. Neighborhood Watch Group that's very active. Two of the members in the room here tonight and are at all of our events, and we appreciate all the work they do for the community. Junior Police Academy, there's the Philadelphia Police, as well as many other departments come every year and have a really special day with our campers. This year was over 65 children. So that's just to give you a sense on all the work the police department does beyond the calls and beyond the 30,000 responses. I mean, really, it's abundantly clear that they believe in community policing, developing relationships with the Hatfield community. Some of the public works accomplishments in 19, over $850,000 were invested, thanks to the Board of Commissioners, to upgrade the roads and accessible ramps. I think when you drive through Hatfield, you can see that clearly. These were the roads paved in 19, not the longest list, but some major roads, Lenhart and Line Street, two significant corridors that needed upgrade and have been a huge improvement, and we heard from our tax collector talking about that as well just recently. Line Street repairs, large stormwater project that we had repaired this year and then paved over top of it, and thankfully the timing worked out when Lansdale was paving Line Street. Now Line Street's a really different road than it was. Here's an illustration of all the roads paved in the last decade. Keep in mind, I mean, you see a lot of colors. Keep in mind some of our major roads are not owned by the township, such as Cowpath, Orvilla, and Unionville, both two state roads and a county road. So when you take those out, it looks, over a 10-year period, a lot of the roads have been paved, and we still are committed to that 15-year program to where every Hatfield Township road will be paved. Some of the cooperation that we have here in Hatfield between the police and the public works, which is not something you see in every local government. We're lucky to have this great cooperation. These symbols on the map that you see represent each time a police officer within the last 6 months was just out patrolling and noticed something was wrong. Maybe a sign was down, maybe a sightline issue exists, maybe there's a safety hazard, and they reach out then to our Public Works Department working collectively, and the Public Works goes out and fixes it. This is just a great illustration showing that the officers are doing so many different things all at once and working with our Public Works to fix some of these items. Some of the Parks and Rec accomplishments in 19, we have our very successful 4-concert series in the summer. Went well this year. I think our weather, 5 concerts. Sorry, I missed that 5th. We had one rain out. One rain out this year, so 4 out of 5. Not bad. It was a pretty good summer, but really well attended. A lot of great feedback from the residents. We had Rocktoberfest, which here's a picture of our sewer authority. Who doesn't want to see sewer equipment at a festival? Pete Dorney did a great job, though, coming out, and among many other vendors that hopefully all of us go out there and see that. We, Parks and Rec-wise, we went through a walkability study this year, and you can see Tina there was involved, and we appreciate your feedback, was at the meeting. And what that led to was sidewalks on Sterling, as well as about 20 other recommendations from the committee on how to make this community more walkable. We were able to, in the last month, meet the first priority and get it done, and the sidewalks were poured just yesterday on Sterling, which makes a really large connection now on our Fricks Trail, which will, the sidewalks is essentially right here, so you don't have to weave back around and through our park. You can come up here and walk right down Sterling. We'll talk more about that, and we'll recognize the business that made it happen at our either next meeting or our January meeting. So the Fricks Trail is now done. We talked about it forever. Now, as a resident, you can park here, and you can walk continuously, bike, walk, run, all the way through the Chestnut Street Trail all the way into Hatfield Borough. So it's a 5-mile loop that is continuous, and we still have a little more work to do as far as paving this red section of the trail, but it is in, and it's completely usable, and we see and hear a lot of feedback from the residents about it. So we're excited to finally have that in. One of the bridges along that trail that was one of the pieces that we needed to complete. This is thanks to Commissioner Rogers. The pictures, the first runner of our half marathon running over the bridge for the first time. Is that you, Commissioner Rogers, running over the bridge? Maybe next year. But a nice feature. Summer camp in our Parks and Rec. We have 90 children, really successful summer camp. And a great, something great for the parents in the community as well when you're looking for things to do with your kids in the summer. We have a camp that has pre and post care and really, I think, provides a nice service to the community. We have our giving tree, which you see in the lobby right now, which is a great way to donate gifts that go to then families that need that for Christmas to make their holidays a little more special. Bus trips, fitness classes, nature camp, kids exercise classes here in our community room. This one's with Cal Sports. Running series. President Zipfel's about to get knocked over by a bunch of 4-year-olds. Aqua exercise, Zumba, Earth Day cleanup, basketball clinic, pickleball, plant exchange, teddy bear picnic, Father's Day basketball clinic, golf lessons at Twin Woods, giving tree program, summer camp, babysitting classes. Our Parks and Rec department is busy, and they provide a really good service to Hatfield Township. We raised $10,000 this year in a Hatfield golf outing. One of our most successful events, Dogapalooza. some of the financial accomplishments in 19 as I try to quickly move through this. 6th straight year, like I said, no tax increase. Township's bond rating is at a AA, which is, as you see on the chart, second to the top. Increased our emergency reserve account over the past several years. Now we're at $700,000. Our goal is to get to $1 million. We're in a very good position. We've increased our fund balance. We've lowered healthcare costs. So looking at 2020 now, revenues and expenditures about the same. You'll see the expenditures are a little higher only because there's a transfer to ourselves when it comes to capital projects. That's the only reason it is higher. Fund by fund, I'm not going to go through each one, but if anyone is interested, this budget will be posted online. It'll be posted in the lobby. And if you want to really dig deep, you certainly can. If you have any questions, you can call us. We'd be happy to meet with you and talk about it. The commissioners spent several hours at a budget workshop going through each line item, and we work on this throughout the year. So tonight's just a big picture overview of what's going on in Hatfield. So the revenue that comes in, we all know real estate's our primary source of revenue, then the earned income tax, local service tax, state funding, and Hatfield Borough with the police services, as well as Hatfield Borough contributes toward some of the debt repayments for the Aquatic Center. And this just illustrates that. You see that real estate tax is the primary source of revenue at Hatfield and pretty much every local government in Pennsylvania, earned income tax being the second. So when you pay your real estate taxes, just remember every dollar that you spend in real estate taxes, 81 cents of that dollar goes to the school district, 10 cents to the county, and then roughly another 9-10 cents here to Hatfield Township. So it's important to know that with just that 9% share, what the township and the residents get back for that investment. Millage breakdown stays the same. This has been an easy slide for me. It's been the same for the last 6 years. Residents are in the mid to lower portion. These are every community in the county for the millage rate. And the reason the residents lower than the business, we have a very aggressive homestead exemption. So every resident's able to reduce $70,000 from your assessed value thanks to the commissioners. Businesses don't have that luxury, but businesses also don't have any other additional taxes to pay like they do in other communities. So here's an example of a tax payment. And our median assessed value here in Hatfield is in that 140 range. So that tax payment, about $365 to receive the services that you get in Hatfield. Earned income tax, it's that half of 1%. The other half goes to the school district. So median tax that is received from earned income, $317 here in Hatfield. That's based on a median assessed household income. Obviously, that is everybody's situation is different. So expenses, like I said earlier, priorities. Police, without question, and public works the second, investment, and then you have administration, parks and rec, the debt service, fire protection. So when you look at police and fire, it makes up for usually about 60% of the budget. All right, so total tax picture. This is all real estate, all income taxes. Where does the median Hatfield resident tax investment go? So you'll see the lion's share will still go to the school district. Second will go to the federal government, then to Pennsylvania based on the income tax, then to the county, and then to the township. So only 7% of your total tax picture comes here to Hatfield Township. And with that 7%, with that median investment of $729 a year, Hatfield residents for that investment receive accredited police department. We got to get some new pictures. Fire protection, public works department. We remove snow, repair roads, stormwater maintenance. Over 70 lane miles are maintained. We do all the line painting in-house. 19 traffic signals, 4 school flashers, bridges, basins. We mow now over, I think we're up to almost 200 acres, thanks to some recent moves of more open space acquired. Award-winning Aquatic Center, beautiful School Road Park, Clemens Park, which will look like this in a few years, Weicker Park, Community Park, Walnut Street Cabin, Tree Nursery, Melody Brook Park, Nature Preserve, Stratford Park, the Dog Park, the Arboretum, Street Hockey, Open Space, Chestnut Street Trail, Fricks Trail. So for that median amount of $700 a year in that investment, the residents receive what I just mentioned. We think there's good value, and there's many people under that median amount. So there are residents that are paying $100, $200 of taxes per year that are on fixed income that still receive all of those services. So looking at 2020, quick highlights. No tax increase. Overall expenses, commissioners have done a great job containing cost. Increase is only 3% going into 2020 projected. We're increasing our police department to 29 sworn officers, over $850,000 into the roads and accessible ramps, new capital purchases for public works, 3 digital road signs. So what you now see, the old signs at School Road and Public Works, we're going to have new modern signs in 2020 that we can control remotely and communicate better to our residents. We're going to have a new museum center that we talked about recently, and we're going to hopefully move forward on a Liberty Bell Trail feasibility study with 5 other communities. Some economic development coming our way in 2020, and we talked a lot about this in this room as the board approves these plans. Clemens Food Group's expanding. Grandview Health is coming to Hatfield Township, the orthopedic unit to 309 in Broad. North Penn Business Park's expanding. We have residential developments coming in. Ralph's Corner has been redeveloping over the years. And Penn Keller, one of our top 5 employers as well, is expanding. So a lot of investment made into this community. Some of the transportation improvements for next year. We're going to realign Cowpath Orvilla. We've talked about that enough. We're going to synchronize all the signals on 463. And finally, that PA 309 Sumneytown Connector Road begins in the end of 2020. So what does that mean? This is Cowpath Orvilla now. This is what it'll look like next year, hopefully in the summer. These are the signals that will be synchronized thanks to a $900,000+ grant the commissioners received a few years ago. This is the connector road. It's going to, from Allentown and Wambold, where it ends today, it's going to go to Hatfield, Souderton, Pike over the next 3-4 years, but it will finally begin at the end of 2020. So at this point, we'll post the budget. In December, the board will be in a position to consider approving and adopting. Just want to specifically thank Commissioner Thomas. This is her last budget cycle, and Vice President Hughes for all of their work over the years. We'll talk more about that next month, but I want to specifically thank you for all of your support and help. Again, we are honored to serve and protect this great community. So thank you for listening to me. Hopefully it wasn't too long, and I appreciate everyone's support in getting to us to this point. Thank you.